What's going on, good people? What's going on? What's going on? Happy Tuesday. Y'all already know when y'all hear that intro music, it's time to jump on in, and it is Tuesday. And it is time for our Minding My Business Mic Drop podcast. And on this podcast, y'all know that I bring some amazing individuals to come and share with us. They share their journey, they share about their amazing, amazing business, companies, what they're doing in the world and for the world. And tonight ain't gonna be no different. It's not gonna be no different. And so if you are OG and you've been rocking with me since forever, you already know what to do. Go on and put your city and state, or not or, and if you're chiming in from a whole nother country, put the country that you are watching from. And listen, do not forget, when you are sharing the video, when you are sharing the posts, be sure to tell your people, subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, when I get started and y'all hear that music playing, everybody knows to jump on board. So we're gonna shout out Greensboro, Clarkton, all in the big North Carolina. Yes, OGs, what's going on? OGs are always in the building, keeping the chat live and lit. So the person, wait a second. I'm so excited about my guest. I need to tell y'all who I'm is. Y'all know I'm bilingual. I also speak Ebonics. Okay, so I'm bilingual in these streets. So let me tell you who I am. So my name is Nishika Melton. And as someone who knows what it is to be overwhelmed, overworked, and overextended, what I do is help you create your vision, your strategy, and show you how to implement it. So you discard all those unproductive hats that are not getting you where you need to be. They are getting in the way of you living the success that you know you deserve. I am Nishika Melton, your simplified productivity coach. And I'm excited that you are here with me tonight. My guest on this evening is Dr. Jasmine Zapata. I love that, Zapata. Dr. Jasmine Zapata. She's a board certified pediatrician. So she worked with children all day. She worked with and their parents. That's what she does. But she also has in her heart the goal to help youth and to see them be the best version of themselves. As well as, she has a servant's heart. So she's going to tell us about some of the other things that she does. But I like to point out that she is a medical doctor. When we had our podcast, 2 weeks last week, we had an academic doctor, and now we have a medical doctor. So she can get into all of that if that's where the conversation goes. But I am going to bring to the stage, and y'all let me get my sounds together, because y'all know I'll be looking for them every single week. Chat. I'll be forgetting to bring them up. Let's bring to the stage Dr. Jasmine Zapata.
Hello. I love how you are saying my last name is Zapata. You
Yes,
need
honey.
to introduce me everywhere. I love that. I love that.
So, Dr. Jasmine, first of all, welcome and
Thank
thank you for
you.
taking time out, especially right
Yes.
near the holidays, to
Hmm.
be on this podcast. And on this podcast, honey, we drop the mic for the whole hour.
Yes.
We drop in the mic.
Let's go.
So, I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Jasmine Zapata, aka Dr. Jazz, and I am a board certified pediatrician and preventive medicine doctor. My mission is to heal, uplift, and inspire young people across the globe, letting them know you are worth it, you are powerful, you are capable, and your life is worth living. I do that through my books, through my live events, and my partnerships with different schools and nonprofits across the country. In addition to that, I'm a serial business owner and I own several businesses with my family. So we have a lot of family businesses that I involve my own children in. And along my journey of speaking and writing books, a lot of people came to me and said, Dr. Jazz, how do you write a book and get it out there? And so I have a publishing support company, and we've helped over 300 authors write and self-publish their books that also heal, uplift, and inspire the next generation. So that's what I am all about. And I got 4 kids.
So let's rewind it back to the whole family business. So
Mhm.
you are in business with your children, and how
Mhm.
old are your children?
Yes, they are. So me and my husband were high school sweethearts. We
Girl,
started
get out
dating
of
when I
here.
was 16 and we got married when I was 19. And so we have a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 7-year-old, and then I have a little 2-year-old.
Girl, I think I've met the 2-year-old on the
Yes.
screen.
Yes, yes.
So what made you want to say that I want to do this with my kids?
Mm. Generational wealth and legacy is so incredibly important. I'll never forget when my grandfather passed away. My grandfather had been a pastor for over 60 years. One of my
Mm,
biggest supporters in my life sat me down even when I was just 5 years old and told my family I wanted to be a doctor. He sat me on his lap and he said, Jasmine, you could do whatever you set your mind to. And over the years, he instilled so much faith in me and determination, and he was instrumental on me becoming a medical doctor. He actually got to walk me across stage as I got my medical degree and became the first medical doctor in our family. And then he passed away a year later. When he passed away, he left a small inheritance for us, and I was able to take that money and start several businesses and um do that with my family. He taught us so much about business ownership, determination, wealth building, and he had so many vision for a legacy that he didn't get to see with his own eyes. So I
mm.
carry that forward, and my parents taught me a lot about entrepreneurship as well. So if you want to really protect your wealth over the long term, it's really important to start young with the children. Let them bring their bright ideas in, train them young, get them excited at a young age, and
Yes.
then they can carry it forward.
So I love that, because you have goals to help youth, And
Mhm.
you're also being the example because you're working with your own children. I
Yes.
can't tell you how many people I come across who are in positions of servitude, but they really
Mhm.
don't like people. And then how many, quote unquote mentors, they have issues with their mentee or whomever is assigned to
Mhm.
them getting further as it appears than they are. So they're
Mhm.
jealous and they start sabotaging. So to see that this is not something that you're just talking, but you
Mhm.
are living it out in your own household and empowering and equipping your own kids.
Yes.
I think that is absolutely amazing. So when you started these businesses,
Mhm.
was it birth from was it birth from working with your own children, or you were like, okay, now I'm helping
Mm.
these kids, let me bring my own kids into it?
Mhm.
What was the order?
Great question. One of the biggest youth empowerment movements that I have started about a decade ago, and this was for young girls. I
Mm,
have books written for just young girls, and I also have books written for boys and girls, but I want to tell you about the very first youth empowerment series that I started. That one is called Beyond Beautiful. The
mm.
original It's now a series, but the original book was called Beyond Beautiful: A Girl's Guide to Unlocking the Power of Inner Beauty, Self-Esteem, Resilience, and Courage. And what Beyond
Wow.
Beautiful means is you are more than what people see on the outside. Your true beauty and strength is on the inside. And there were two main reasons that I birthed that book series and movement, which is still very active today. One of the first reasons was my own daughter, my second oldest. She is 15 now, but when she was born, she was born prematurely. I went into premature labor at just 25 weeks pregnant. So
Wow.
I was due January 2nd. I had her September 20th.
Oh my
She
gosh.
out 1.5 pounds, and her lungs were so fragile that she couldn't breathe on her own. They had to put her on immediate life support, and we didn't know if she was going to live or die. She needed multiple surgeries to survive, and we were in the intensive care unit for 3 months. I
Wow.
finally was able to bring her home, and that was just a miracle, and that led to a lot of where my like medical career is now. But as she began to get older, there was a scar that she had from one of her surgeries, and she said, "This scar makes me ugly." And I told her, "No, that scar makes you so beautiful. It means you are a warrior. Do you know what you survived?" And I just began to pour into her that beauty is not just what people see on the outside, it's what's on the inside. That's one of the main reasons I started that Beyond Beautiful Girls Empowerment series for my own daughter. And then on top of that, at the hospital, when I was going through my pediatrics training, we had a young girl come into our intensive care unit after a failed suicide attempt. She tried to hang herself, and they were able to rescue her seconds before she died. They flew her to our emergency intensive care unit, and I was a part of the team working to save her life. However, there was a voice inside of me saying, "Jasmine, even though you have become a doctor, you are doing amazing things, you are called to more. You need to get outside of these clinic walls and hospital walls and let these girls know you are beautiful. You can make it. You are worthy. It's going to be okay. You are loved." Let them know that before they even get to the hospital. And those situations would happen over and over again, where there were
Mm,
young people that tried to take their life and they woke up in our hospital. So between what was those powerful moments, what I saw at the hospital, and then my own daughter, I started the Beyond Beautiful Girls Empowerment movement. And now that has spread to all over the nation. We've done national tour. The books have been translated into Swahili and Korean, sent abroad, lots of powerful partnerships, and so many amazing things. So great question. That's why I got started.
Come on, international.
Okay.
Okay. So a lot of parents struggle with, they have an important message for their child, just like
Mhm,
you had one for your daughter when she
mhm,
saw that scar. And there are times when that child doesn't receive what the
mhm,
parent is saying.
mhm,
And I don't know if you can even answer this question. This may be the puzzle that never gets solved, but have you figured out how to get them to listen to what you're saying? Like, what would be your suggestion for a parent who
mhm,
is worried
mhm,
that my child, maybe they're seeing the self-esteem of their child just
mhm.
plummet. They're concerned that maybe their child is doing, self-harm, or maybe even getting bullied,
Yeah.
and they need to know what to say
Mhm.
to help their child.
Such a great question. There is a 3S strategy that I always encourage, that I created, the 3S strategy. The first thing is to start young. Anytime you're working to engage the next generation, engage
Mhm.
young people, this is my 3S strategy that I created. Start young. It's never too early to have powerful conversations about identity, self love, your feelings and emotions. Many times, parents wait until their kids are teenagers or older in life to have some of those more serious discussions. It's really critical to start young. Identity formation starts as early as 10 years old, even younger than that. But also, you can be talking to your 5, 6 year old about some of these things. So, making sure that you're starting at a young age where they can feel safe to talk to you about issues of their heart
Mhm.
that are very important. Just yesterday, I was talking to my 7-year-old about how babies are made and body autonomy, taking care of yourself, because there's so much stuff on YouTube and TikTok that
Yes.
they're seeing, that they're learning. So we were talking about all kind of things that back in when I was growing up, you would wait till you're 13, 14 to talk about. But I want her and I want my children to hear things from me first before they learn it at school, their friends,
Yes.
and feel safe. So even if it's talking about something that's important to them, that's not super heavy, they should know that you are a safe space. So
Mhm.
start young. That's the first S.
Mhm.
The second one is utilize the power of storytelling. When you tell
Mm.
stories about your own life, about your own journey, it actually is able to bypass certain parts of the brain, and it really activates your hippocampus. That's the part of the brain that focuses on memories. And so they can really remember the things that you are saying if you use the power of storytelling. The power of storytelling also activates your reward system when they hear a positive outcome. So when
Mhm.
you, instead of just telling your kids, you shouldn't do this, this is what you should do, or let me teach you this, put it in the powerful form of a story. Especially, that's one of the reasons too I got into book writing, so we can capture these stories and put it in a book. So yesterday I was talking to my youngest daughter about the importance of, you have to pay attention to what you wear, how you carry yourself, and when you are dating and in relationships, thinking about what that person wants from you. Are they with you because of what they see on the outside, your body, or are they with you for the inside? And then I told her a story back when I was in high school and an ex-boyfriend I had and the drama that we went through, but it was to illustrate my point. And she was so into it and excited because of the story that I told her. So number one, start young. Number two, utilize the
Mm.
power of storytelling. And number three, this is the one that I see a lot of parents and a lot of people missing: shared joy and shared fun. Young
Oh.
people like to have fun. anything that you're teaching or talking about, put it in the form of some type of game, activity, trivia. Make it exciting, make it fun. Young people love to have fun, and that also activates certain parts of the brain where they associate those deeper, important conversations with a positive association rather than it's always so serious or stern talking about things. So make it fun. What kind of games can you play to talk about your feelings and emotions and puberty and sex and stuff like that? What kind of game can you
Yeah.
do to make it fun? So number one, start young. Number two, the power of storytelling. And number three, shared fun. That's the 3S strategy that we do in our events and when we work with different organizations. And then finally, just one last thing, make sure you because you mentioned about depression, suicide,
Yes.
make sure that you connect them with resources. I believe it is imperative that every young person has a therapist or a counselor or someone that they can talk to outside of their parents. And all this that I'm saying, it is not medical advice. I am a doctor, but I'm not your doctor. So
Come
let's
on
make
now.
sure this is not medical advice. This is just general education. But make sure you connect them with someone even outside of you where they can have a safe space to talk about those things. 988 is one of my favorite resources as well. So just wanted to share those things. Phenomenal question. Keep them coming. That was a good one.
Thank you, girl. So this question that I'm going to ask you, you kind of answered it in part in regards to the storytelling. I come across a lot of parents who they're still ashamed of
Mm.
what they've done
Mm-hmm.
or who they were not
Mm-hmm.
at a certain point in their life. And
Mm-hmm.
so they're not always comfortable talking about it. And part of it is they haven't really dealt with whatever that area was in their life. So,
Mm-hmm.
what do you say to that parent? Do you find that the parent's own story resonates more, or can it be somebody else's story or even a hypothetical situation?
Wonderful question. Everyone's different. And one thing that my mother taught me that I really love, she is my mother is phenomenal. She's the best grandma ever and helps me raise these kids. And she's just amazing. She said, pray for strategy for each
Mm,
one of your kids. Each one of your kids is unique. There's no cookie cutter way to raise your children, but pray for strategy and guidance for each individual child because they're so different and unique. So that would be one of the biggest things I would say. Some kids need to just hear the real raw truth. There's some
yeah.
kids that might not be ready to hear some of the heavier things from their parents' past or lives. Some kids might be fine hearing hypothetical stories. Some kids are like, don't tell me a fake story. I want to hear what you did, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So you just
Right.
have to have discernment about your unique child. But what I would say is, be open and transparent with your children, even if it's something that you haven't conquered all the way. Be honest about that. There's a lot of times where I tell my kids, do you see how much mommy works, doing shifts in the hospital, working as a state public health official, running the different businesses? Do you see how busy I used to be? Now I've cut down. You see how busy I am now, but still I don't want you guys to ever be this busy. I want you to be able to unattach your wealth and income from your time.
Mm,
I'm in that middle ground because me and your daddy are changing that for your generation. Our half our time is still tied up. Our half of our wealth is still tied up to us physically being somewhere, working somewhere. And we're starting with these businesses we're creating. We're making money in our sleep. I want you all to be sure that 100% of your wealth and your money is not in any way attached to you physically having a clock in, clock out, be anywhere on anybody's clock. So I'm still not all the way there yet. Sometimes I get stressed out because I'm working long hours or I'm just overwhelmed. And I'll be transparent with them and say, I'm working toward a goal. I'm not there yet. I want you to know this is not normal. Do not stay up all night working on
Right.
a presentation you have to do the next day. Don't do that. So that's just an example. Be transparent with them, even if you're not perfect. Your flaws are the things that can teach them the most. So tell them about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and where you are on your journey, and they can learn a lot from that.
So we're gonna put a couple of things in the chat. Y'all who are watching now the live, and even those who are gonna be watching on the replay, I want y'all to type this first thing in the chat. Whether you have children, whether you are an auntie, an uncle, you have covenant children, whatever the case may be, if you have the opportunity to impart into a child or a youth, I want you to type into the chat, pray for a strategy. Pray
Mm.
for a strategy, because that is so, it's so simple, but it is so powerful. It is
Mhm.
so powerful. And we do need to pray for a strategy, because
Mhm.
all children, all youth are different. They are different. And I was watching this podcast where they were
Mhm.
interviewing a um a psychologist. It was a little he was a little bit higher than that, because he understood how the brain works.
Mhm.
And the interviewer said, "Well, how can you have three children? They all turn out differently, and
Right.
they're raised by the same parent." And he said, and he let me tell you, this dude, he was so monotone. He never cracked a smile. He didn't lean or anything. He stayed starched. And he said something that I've never forgotten. He said they were not raised by the same parent.
Mm.
And it's so crazy, because the podcast interviewer and I both went, like, what you mean? He said the parent that the oldest child got is
Mhm.
not the same parent that the
Oh,
youngest child got,
oh, right.
because that parent had the opportunity to grow or not grow. They
Mhm.
had an opportunity to process whatever didn't work right with the
Mhm.
first one, but
Mhm.
it was never the same parent. And I
Mhm.
was like, oh my gosh, I never ever thought about that, because when I look back, and I'm sure you can resonate with this as well as those who are watching, the person I was with my first child, I certainly was not that parent with my third child. And I'm not
Mhm.
that same parent now that
Right.
they've all gotten grown. But
Mhm.
until he said it, I used to ask that question.
Mhm.
Y'all come up in the same doggone house and you're completely different.
Right.
And that's what it is. So pray for a strategy. Pray for a
Yes.
strategy. And then the other thing you said that I wrote down, I gotta get me a sign or a t-shirt or something. But y'all in the chat, and again, if you're watching the replay, type replay after you put this in the chat. Type in, I'm making money in my sleep. I'm
Yes.
making money in my, and put it in all caps. Don't come in here with no lowercase. I want y'all to be screaming. I'm making money in my sleep. Okay, we're gonna speak that out. We're gonna speak it out. And let me go back up, because I see some questions. They didn't come alive in here. Let's see.
Yes. Let's go.
So I have a request, and they're saying, can you speak a little bit about how co-parenting and
Mhm.
the father in the home matters? So what kind of
Mhm.
impact has your husband had, not only on the sons, but also the daughters, and y'all working as a team?
Yeah. I am incredibly blessed that I have my husband in my life. It was just a blessing to be able to meet someone when you're still just a baby and they go through the ups and downs of life with you. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of people thought we were crazy for getting married so young. even though we had been dating 3 years, and it was 3 long years we had been dating, we were still young, but we knew that we wanted to be together. And so a lot of people thought we were crazy for getting married so young. But when you have somebody who believes in your dreams, you all support one another. They make you feel like, even though you know you might not be the most beautiful, fabulous supermodel in the world, they make you feel like you are when you walk
Girl,
around
I'm dope.
your
Okay.
dreams.
I'm,
Okay.
I'm dope. You dope. Listen, we not
Yeah,
anorexic, but we dope. Hello.
exactly, exactly. And then where you have a shared vision for your future. And so I'm incredibly blessed that I know that everyone doesn't get to have that. So I am blessed that we met at a really young age. And he knew, because I knew that I wanted to be a medical doctor since I was 5 years old. I have a diary that goes all the way back to when I was in kindergarten, and every single year it says, I want to be a doctor when I grow up. I want to be a doctor. So I was driven and focused. I knew that that's what I was going to do. And he believed in my dreams, even when I didn't have enough money in high school, sometimes to even buy my own personal uh, women's personal sanitary supplies. There was a time my family was really going through a lot, and
Mhm.
and he helped me through that. Wait, even back in high school, he believed in me. I wasn't always a doctor or successful, but I had a vision, and he was so amazing with the kids in his family, and he loved family and children. And I knew that was something important for me. And he said his main goal in life, yes, is to accumulate wealth, but he wants to be a present father. I said, I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna be doing this and this. I'm gonna be an entrepreneur, a doctor. And his main thing was, I'll work wherever, do whatever. My main goal in life is I want to be a father in my children's life, because that was something that he didn't get to have. And so it was wonderful for us, because family is so important. And so I say all that to say, when you are spending your life with someone or looking for a life partner, you can't predict exactly the future, but you have to look at that fruit and those seeds, so you can have a shared vision of your future together. So that, with that being said, he's such a family guy. He's so amazing. And it has been really helpful to raise our kids. We're very different with our styles and approaches, but to have him there, especially for my girls, to tell them they're beautiful, you're gorgeous
Mm.
every day, so that they don't have to go get that validation from someone else. That's powerful and
Mhm.
amazing. And even the my sons having their father, it definitely has helped them to be very successful. He just took my son on his first college tour, because he's getting ready to
Okay.
apply for college. My son just got his driver's license today. My son is
Right.
writing a book, and he's only 16.
Come on, son.
It's already done. We're just going through the editing phase, and he got a former NFL player to agree to write the forward. So my son is just
Oh.
amazing things, and it definitely is important to have a father in the household. And I recognize everyone doesn't have that, and there are so many powerful people that were able to get mentors in their life, but having a father figure in your life, whether it's in the home or in your life, it is incredibly, incredibly important.
So first of all, we're gonna give a round of applause for your husband.
Oh, yes, yes,
Okay. The doggone thing. And then we're
yes.
gonna applaud all the present fathers and father figures and the impact that y'all are making, because you needed and necessary in and outside the
Mhm.
home. Both are needed,
Right.
because we need to know how to conduct ourselves inside the home and outside
Mhm.
the home. And AJ, what's going on, AJ? We missed you last week. I ain't gonna talk about you, but I am. He says, I love this conversation. It's rare to hear a woman speak about her husband with such love and be able to identify each individual thing he provides to the family. Jasmine says she love her boo. She don't know what
Right,
y'all doing out in these streets, but her man is good. Okay.
right, right. It'll be 20 years. I will have our 20-year wedding anniversary next summer.
Wow.
So that's really exciting. 20-year wedding anniversary. Now, we get on each other's nerves all the time. Let me
Talk
not
about
let me let me not make it like we're just like this perfect couple. Oh, honey, I love you. Like I be getting on his nerves, he be getting on my nerves, but we have a solid foundation and that's what's important.
Mhm.
It's so beautiful. Remember my grandfather that I talked about at the beginning? My
Yes.
grandfather did our premarital counseling. Now, if you're even thinking about getting married at all, get premarital counseling. It's not required by law, but at our church, if they wouldn't marry you unless you got premarital counseling, and my
Love it.
grandfather happened to be our pastor, it was
Love
so
it.
awkward going in there with my grandpa to get marriage counseling because his marriage counseling was talking about compatibility with finances, politics, but even sex. We were
Mhm,
talking
mhm.
all that. I'm like, Grandpa, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're talking about this. But he had some good old advice about basically if you two are always just really focused on what can I do to make the other person happy, what can I do to uplift them and care about them, and if the other person is thinking the same thing for you, you guys are constantly just building each other up and having a strong foundation. He also said something which was like awkward at the moment but so powerful, because we were young when we got married. We were young and fit and looking real good and nice and hot. But he said, when you're much, much older, and let's say he can't get it up anymore. And I was like, oh my gosh, I wanted to just disappear and fall
Just
out. He said, if she's not able to basically have sex anymore, what is it that's going to hold you all together? And
mm,
that's what is so important. If you don't feel like you can be with this person and have to take care of them even in those older years when all the hot passion wears off, that then you don't need to be with that person. Those are the qualities that you hold on to. That's a long lasting relationship. So work to continually build on outside of just the sexual relationship part. You
mhm.
guys are lifelong partners and friends that are going to grow old together. And if you can't imagine yourself with somebody like that, that's not who you want to be with. And so, yeah, that was really special. That my grandpa, bless his soul, he really helped us a lot and gave us a good foundation. Go, grandpa! Somebody said, "Go, grandpa!"
Yeah, Wanda said, "Go, grandpa." And
Yeah.
I know some people might say, well, what does this have to do with children? Well, children are imprinted, children and
Right.
youth, they are imprinted on by what is going on or what is not going on in their home. So
Mm-hmm.
when they see that there is balance, they'll be attracted or drawn to balance. When
Mm-hmm.
they are always around chaos, even though the chaos is crazy, they're
Right.
still going to be drawn to chaos because
Mhm.
that's what they know.
Yeah.
And you might think that they don't hear or they don't see, but y'all, them crumb snatchers hear and see everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Nothing gets past them because they are like sponges. They are like sponges. So I want you to talk a little bit because I know this story and I was told this before I ever even met you. Um, but you took your book, your course, your idea, your product, and you pitched it.
Mm-hmm.
And that pitch wound up being astronomically well
Mm-hmm.
for your future. So tell us a little bit about that, and what drew you to the organization that you pitched to, and how long ago that was.
Yeah, yeah. That was that was just a few years ago, actually. It was during the pandemic. So I'm trying to think of when I first pitched it, but it was just a few years ago.
Hmm.
And basically, we took the Beyond Beautiful Girls Empowerment book. It's based on a poem, and we turned the poem into the chapters of the book, but then we turned the book into a curriculum that schools and different nonprofit organizations, youth serving organizations can use. So we turned it into a course, the Beyond Beautiful empowerment course.
Mhm.
And so I pitched it to the YMCA to turn it into a summer camp. They actually approach. Wait a minute, this is the blessing of it. When you're just out there letting your light shine, living your best life, serving,
Yeah.
people will notice that. So they actually reached out to me. The
Come on,
CEO,
girl.
they actually, I'm like, wait a minute, let me remember this story. The CEO actually reached out to me, was interested in me, in me interested in possible collaborations. Let's put it like that.
Mhm.
And then I pitched the Beyond Beautiful Girls Empowerment Academy. And they didn't have the resources at that time to hire me and implement our activities. But they came back a year later and they went and got the funding and resources to turn the book into the 10-week summer camp. So that was just tremendous. It was one of the most meaningful and purpose-filled periods of my life when I've been on national tour, or when we did it for 2 years. Um, it was just so amazing. And what we did was the first hour, the girls would come and we would read the book, say the girls empowerment affirmation that's in the book, do games and activities talking about the concept of Beyond Beautiful. And then the second hour, and they would have some good old food. The second hour, they got to do activities around the YMCA, so focusing on physical health, joy, team building, friendships, and things like that. So it was just so amazing. And then we would always end it with a Beyond Beautiful red carpet celebration. So we had a red carpet, and we actually did these events when we went on tour as well. But at the end
Mhm.
of the 10-week summer camp, we had a big red carpet event. We had a live DJ. The girls could invite their families. We had a big dance party. They would walk down the red carpet and we would be clapping and screaming and cheering for them. And we let them know we're not cheering based on anything you're wearing. We're cheering for you based on the fact that you're beyond beautiful, you're courageous, you're resilient, you're confident, you're creative. We would cheer for them for just how amazing they were, took pictures, we would do breakout sessions. It was just phenomenal. So that CEO said, "This is so amazing. We want to see your Beyond Beautiful summer camp in YMCAs across the country." So we're still in the process of that. And he actually is helping us connect with YMCAs across the country.
Now, and yes, AJ, her children are involved in her businesses. Great question.
Mhm.
So I'm going to pivot a little bit.
Yes.
I know that your focus is on youth.
Mhm.
How many adults, how many mamas have
Mhm.
you come across in your work
Mhm.
as you've interacted with the parents that needed that Beyond Beautiful course? As even though it was for young girls, you saw
Mm.
those same traits
Mhm.
showing up in mama or auntie.
Yes. Phenomenal question. When we went on our 14 city national tour, when we first started, we only had activities for the young people. And the parents would just be kind of sitting in the room, in the cafeteria or something, waiting.
Mhm.
But then we saw them start to pick up the books, read it, talk among themselves. And then then eventually we just turned it into a breakout session for the parents. And I
Mm.
would facilitate, I would have others on my team facilitate. My mother and husband and children actually went with me on several of the tour stops and were helping and being involved and stuff like that. But my mom started leading the session for parents, and it was so juicy and powerful.
Yes, I'm
Opened
sure.
up about the different things they've gone through, because we realize even if we empower these young people, if they're going back into the same environment where their parents are struggling with the same issues, it
That
doesn't
part.
matter. So we started breakout sessions and programming for even the parents. And now my mom wrote, she's actually getting ready to release a book called Raising Diamonds That Shine.
Oh,
And
baby.
it's really amazing. She has a book out already on Amazon called Life Work on Purpose. Her name is Julia Saffold. So I want to shout out my beautiful mama,
Hey,
Julia
mama.
Saffold. And she shaped me in tremendous ways. And
Mhm.
she works alongside me in a lot of our family businesses as well. And she wrote a book called Life Work on Purpose. And then she also has another one she is getting to release called Raising Diamonds That Shine. And so, yes, we do a lot of programming with the parents as well, whether it is through our partnerships with different nonprofit organizations or schools or on
Mhm.
our own events on tour. So, yes, yes, yes.
Because I can definitely see those same affirmations and
Mhm.
same, things that you're working on with the young ladies,
Mhm.
that mama needs that too, because
Mhm.
in too many instances, it's a
Right.
cycle. It didn't just start with the child. It was way before that child came
Mhm.
on the scene, and
Mhm.
that generation went unaddressed.
Right.
And just like
Correct.
you said, y'all can do all this work and it'd be phenomenal and great.
Mhm.
But if that child is going back into a toxic,
Mhm.
non-affirming environment,
Mhm.
then that work that you did is being ripped apart until they see you again.
Correct. Correct. Can I you mentioned how the Beyond Beautiful message can be for adults as well. Is it okay if we just pause and we can say the Beyond Beautiful affirmation?
Girl, come on with it. Come on.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it because
Okay.
there's somebody that needs to hear it. All of the phenomenal people that's in the chat, and even us, because just as you mentioned, it's not just for young people; it
Hmm.
can be for us as well. There are so many people that have talked about. Have you ever had anybody talk about you,
Girl,
girl?
I'm
Okay,
sure it happened as I was driving in, chair.
driving in. There's so many people that have things to say about us, but the
Yes.
only person who can have the power to speak positivity over your own life is who? It's yourself. You're the only one that you can control. So it is so important to speak positive things into the atmosphere about yourself and who you are. There's so many negative statistics, especially about minority youth or
Hmm.
minority women or people from hard backgrounds. However, we need to speak positivity into the future. So Beyond Beautiful means you are more than what people see on the outside. Your true beauty and
Mm.
strength is on the inside. And here is the Beyond Beautiful declaration. Today will be a great day. I'll achieve all I set my mind to. I cannot be stopped.
Mm.
I can do anything I want to because I'm beyond beautiful. I'm beyond beautiful. I'm courageous. I'm resilient. I'm confident. I'm creative. I am talented, intelligent, unique, and innovative. I'm worth it. I deserve it. I am treasured. I am loved. And I deserve every blessing that is coming from above. And that is the
Mm.
Beyond Beautiful. You need to remind yourself of that. Everybody who's in here watching, everybody in here who's watching a replay, you need to remember that you are all of those things and more. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
I felt like there needed to be a period after
Period.
after
What do
that.
the young people say?
Period.
Clock it. Oh my God. Clock it.
Oh my, yes. Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
not gonna sing. I'm not gonna sing here. Y'all gotta invite me to come live. But we turned that Beyond Beautiful declaration that's in every single book.
Mhm.
We turned each one of those words at the end into a chapter. We turned it into the courses, but I also turned that into a song. So
Oh.
when I go in person at schools, different organizations, I have a track and everything. We actually even went into the recording studio with some youth and recorded it. So it's actually a song. And I'm working on some things. We started to release it on all music platforms, but the pandemic slowed me down. But next year, I'm in talks to be able to release it publicly. Right now, we just perform it at live events and with schools and things, but it's a song as well. So
I
I'm not going to
love
sing it right here. I'm not going to sing it right here, but it's a song as well. And it's just to remind you that you are powerful beyond measure.
I love that because anything that's put to music, they are going to remember. We are going to remember it's something about the melody. So we have a question that says, where can we look for the camp? So what cities do the camps take place in?
Wonderful. It's on a Cape. So the camp that we did, it was for 2 years with the YMCA, and we're
Mhm.
currently working with some different organizations and nonprofits planning for summer camps for next year. How it works, if somebody is interested in bringing a camp to their city, just send me an email. My email is hello@drjasminezapata.com. And I'm sure we'll be able to put that in the notes here somewhere. hello@drjasminezapata.com. Or you can just go to my website, www.drjasminezapata.com. Wait, www.drjasminezapata.com. So you can email me or send me a message on my website and just let us know that you're interested in bringing it, especially if you work with or you have any connections with a school, a nonprofit, a YWCA, YMCA, Girls on the Run, even churches, any organization that you're connected with, we can have a conversation about how we could bring the Beyond Beautiful summer camp or Beyond Beautiful Academy to your organization. It doesn't just have to be in the summer. We've worked with schools during the school year in several different states. We've come for one-time events, conferences, whatever you want, just reach out and we will figure out how to make it work.
And I have put her email in the chat. So, and when the video is over, I'll also, or when the podcast is over, I'll also put it in the comments under the video for those that are going to be watching the replay to make sure that if you want to reach out to Dr. Jasmine to have either the camp or the academy at a city near you, then you
Yes.
can definitely reach out to her. So
Yes.
now
Oh,
I
one
told
more
you
thing.
this.
Beyond
Go ahead.
Beautiful, beyondbeautifultour.org is where you can see some pictures. That's the official site for Beyond Beautiful movement, beyondbeautifultour.org. And
Okay.
we do train. Somebody asked a question in here, do you train organizations? We do train the trainer workshops. So in fact, I just trained about 60 social workers from several counties nearby. I came in and I did a training on how to implement the Beyond Beautiful girls empowerment curriculum for the members that they work with. So we do train the trainer for the girls empowerment movement, and then I also have some books for boys and girls about resilience. So yes to all of that.
Now we are coming to the point of the podcast where I ask you a question that was left by the previous guest.
Mm,
Okay. And then you'll get to leave a question for the next guest to answer.
yes. Oh, that's going to be amazing.
So here is your question.
Okay.
What negative influence or experience in your life influenced the start of your business?
Mm. Which business? Because I got a portfolio of businesses.
Which one comes to mind
Right, right,
first?
right, right, right. Okay. So because and the only reason I'm saying that it's not to brag, it's to be confident that we can grow wealth and we can be successful. You don't have to just do
Mhm.
one thing. You can do multiple things and be prosperous. So that's why I'm
Yes,
saying that. I'm not saying it just to
absolutely.
brag. I'm saying it because I'm still feeling the Beyond Beautiful affirmation. Okay. Um
Period.
period. Okay. Because so many people try to hold us down, tell us what we can't be, but we are powerful beyond
Yeah.
measure. But let me get back to the question. I already told you the story of how I started the Beyond Beautiful Girls Empowerment movement with my own
Mhm.
daughter, and seeing those young people try to die from suicide, and they woke up in the hospital upset that they were still alive. And
Mm.
I was there to see the aftermath. That's really what got me ignited to start writing my own books, and then helping other authors that have a powerful story they want to share, helping them write their books. But one of my other businesses that we do a lot with real estate investing, especially when I talk about making money in your sleep. In the medical field and in my community, the housing crisis is just out of control. And it was hurtful to give young people books about resilience and overcoming, but again, they have to walk into a situation where they might be experiencing housing insecurity, or their parents are struggling to get a second chance to find a place to live. How can I empower young people, but then they're going back to an unstable housing situation? And
Yeah.
that was just heartbreaking. And so that's one of the reasons that we got started in real estate investing. And there's such a huge racial wealth gap, and real
Yes.
estate is one of the biggest ways to help combat that. So that's how I got started with a couple of my businesses, just seeing community needs and figuring out how can I be a blessing and be the solution.
Well, I would say thank you for not turning a blind eye to what was in your face, because there are people who see it, but they become numb to it, or they don't really want to, quote unquote, take on the problem. So I know I can speak for all of us saying that we appreciate the fact that you saw it as an opportunity
Yeah.
and not something that you should just ignore and say, oh, that's their problem and not mine, because
Mm-hmm.
these young people are going to impact our future. Even as we get older, they're going to impact it. And we want them to be as balanced and as
Mm-hmm.
healthy as
Mm-hmm.
possible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what question would you like to leave for the next guest?
Okay, I got one. I got one.
Okay.
In And I'm going to ask all of our current listeners as well to just think about this, and all the people watching the replay, and both of us to just be reflecting on this. In 100 years from now, how do you want to be remembered?
Mm,
What legacy are you leaving behind? What are you doing right now to work on that legacy?
okay. And I am writing it down. Okay. Awesome. 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 So, chat, before we wrap up another Minding My Business mic drop, are there any more questions or comments for Dr. Jasmine Zapata? Let's scroll through. I'm seeing the thank yous. God has been good to you. You got it all covered. Can we get an amen? Amen. All right, all right, all right. That was, yes, that was a good question. So the guest next week will have to answer that question right there. And so, Dr. Jasmine, how can, outside of the email address that we did put in the chat, how can the listeners, the viewers, connect with you once this podcast is over?
Wonderful. So many ways, depending on where you're at in your journey, how you want to connect. If you are interested, I talked about the powerful things that I'm doing with sharing my story and writing books. If you know that you want to leave a legacy, you want to join me on this mission to empower the next generation, whether it's youth or whether it's just young adults or people following in your footsteps, and you want to release a book and partner with me to do that, you can go to imreadytolaunch.com. There's an opportunity to meet with our team for a free one-on-one strategy session to talk a little bit about that. And then there's also a masterclass that you can sign up for where I'll teach you how you can get the outline for that book done and write the book in as fast as a weekend. So those are two free resources. I'm ready to launch.com. You can go to, because I need to recruit more people in this army fighting for our young people in the next generation. If you're interested in bringing me to come speak to your youth, I'm actually gearing up to go back on tour again next year. I'm partnering up with a few former NFL players, some celebrities, like some powerful things are happening next year. We are gearing up to go back on tour. And so I'll be making some announcements about that soon. But if you're interested in bringing youth empowerment to your schools, your churches, your organizations, your nonprofits, and want to talk partnerships, just go to my website, www.drjasminezapata.com. I am so excited to connect with y'all, and let's partner together to impact the next generation.
All right. And guys, I am putting these sites in the chat. So I've got the I'm ready to launch.com and then drjasminezapata.com, as well as her email address. And I will put this information also in the comments below the video. So let me talk to y'all for a minute. Let me holler at y'all for a minute. Listen, this podcast hits every single week. We have amazing people that come on every single week. And even though some things may be similar, the interviews are never the same. So let me help you help yourself. If you have not hit that subscribe button, do it right now. Right now. If you have not turned on your notifications, stop being hard-headed. Do it now. And then I want you to share some of these videos with the people that are in your network, because folks need to hear this. If you have a parent that you know, whether they're single or not, it doesn't matter. They need to hear the information that Dr. Jasmine brought today. They need to know this. They need to hear that declaration. Okay? Hello. They need to hear the declaration. And mama, papi, if you are hurting and you need healing, that affirmation is something that you can also speak over yourself to shift your mindset and start your healing process. So don't play with the mic drop. Okay? Don't play with the mic drop. Share it, subscribe, and turn on them notifications. So, Dr. Jasmine, thank you so much for being with us on tonight. Thank you for being transparent and pouring out. Thank you for sharing that affirmation, because that is definitely powerful. And when you drop the song, let us know.
I
Let us
will.
know when it's
I will. You almost had me singing on here tonight on the podcast, but I'm like, wait, I got to get my backup track and my music. I'm not going to do it acapella, but you got to invite me back, and yes, I'll definitely come back.
Yes, and they're saying we want to hear it. So when you got it together, let me
Yes.
know, because
Yes.
we are going to do it. And I pray that you and your family have a safe and blessed holiday, as well as everyone who's listening. And those of you that are watching on the replay, please be safe, love on your family, and love on yourselves. Y'all take care, and we will see you next time.